You know, there are many cameras on the market that provide quality footage. But let's face it, most of the DSLR cameras on the market today with all the interchangeable lenses and the fancy bells and whistles, they're just way out of most people's price ranges. When you get into the action camera market, again, there's a gamut of options out there that you can choose from. The problem with the majority of them is they're designed to be, worn on a helmet while you're skydiving or while you're snowboarding or whatever, and they do a great job for that. But the problem is they provide this distorted view, a fisheye look at things. You don't see clearly. If you look at your mirror in your truck and it says objects in mirror closer than they appear, that's what it is when you're filming with these things. The deer at 20 yards that's really at 20 yards looks like it's at 200 yards. Of course, that's an exaggerated and distorted illustration that I just gave. That's why I started using these Tacticams, because what I see with my eyes is pretty much what this thing's picking up. It provides a clear, the lens technology is such as that. Now, last week I shared some thoughts out of Proverbs and hunting out of the rut. It said in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all of your heart, lean not on your own understanding. Now, that means we don't always know what God is thinking because our view of the situation is totally different. Our lenses are cloudy or distorted or whatever. We have a different perspective, and oftentimes the things in our lives cloud our vision. They obstruct our view. Now, before I go to the tree stand, I make sure that my lenses are clean. I go out and I look and I see I don't get any smudges on there because I want a clear, unobstructed, and undistorted view of the subject that I'm getting ready to film. Well, Jesus is quoted in Matthew 7 in saying this. Matthew 7:5 says, "You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." Now, earlier in Matthew, it's in the same chapter, it says this, "Judge not lest ye be judged." People take this whole verse out of context and they say, well, you're not supposed to judge people. Don't judge people. That's not what it's saying. It's saying you can judge, don't be judgmental. It's saying don't be judgmental. You can judge. If I love someone and I see that they're headed down the wrong path, I can judge their actions. I can judge their actions and talk to them about changing their ways. But what does it say? Judge not lest ye be judged, but it also says first, if you're going to do it, first take the plank out of your own eye. So what's that mean? That means if we want to help someone do the right things, we need to do the right thing. This requires some introspective honesty and some self-examination. I think if we're honest with ourselves, we're going to be able to see that we have our own issues that we need to deal with before we go getting in other people's business and doing that. Motivation is key here. There are people in my life that have permission to step in the middle of my mess and tell me where I'm wrong. And then there's others that don't. And that all has to do with relationships. So, take the plank out of your own eye before you go meddling in those around you's business, because one, you'll have a lot more validity in your claim. Now, you've heard the old saying, it's like the blind leading the blind. That's what we have here. While it's good to help others, we first need to make sure that our lenses are clean and that we're seeing clearly before we can truly offer help and assistance to someone in need with the proper motivation. Thank you for tuning in to IHTV's Tree Stand Devotional today. Hope you enjoyed this segment. If you like what we're doing here, make sure that you give us a comment below, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to our Facebook page and join us there as well. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless you. Have a blessed day.